welcome back to my channel. So today I'll be showing you guys my full face routine that I would do if I'm going out somewhere special or if I'm planning to take photos. So as you guys can see, I've already done my brows off camera. If you guys want to see a brow tutorial, I'll leave the link in the description box below so you guys can check it out. Sorry for my voice, I'm still recovering from the flu. Besides my brows, what I have on my face is my moisturizer, some lip balm on your lips. I have oily combination skin, so therefore I generate towards using products suitable for my skin. First thing that I'm gonna do is prep and prime my face. I'm gonna take my Makeup Forever Step 1 Skin Equalizer, and this is a smoothing primer. A primer to give your foundation something to stick to, so you have to do this step or else when you're putting on your foundation it will just slip and slide all over the place. I prefer to use my fingers because the warmth from my fingers will really melt it into my skin. Let it sit on my face for a few seconds just so that it can kind of melt into my skin and do its job. As I said, I'm oily combination skin, so I have oiliness in my T-zone area, especially on my nose. So for that, I like to go in with a mattifying primer just in those areas. And today I'm gonna use the Cover FX mattifying primer. Just like for the first primer, I'm gonna let it sit for a little bit. I'm gonna use the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit. I'm gonna use this coral shade to color correct the different spots in my face that have any kind of discoloration. So when I do that, normally I like to just take my damp beauty blender and just kind of go over it. Now that we have our face completely prepped and primed, it's now time to go into your foundation. For today, I'm gonna take the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte. This is in the shade Cocoa. So I'm just gonna apply this over my face in no particular order, and I'm just pouncing. I tend to kind of avoid under my eyelids until like almost all the foundation has left the beauty blender, because I don't want to put too much product under the eyelid. With the creasing that I have under my eyes, like the less product you put there, the better I find for myself. And I also drag this down my neck, so under my chin and down my neck, just to create a nice flow so that it doesn't just cut from the face to the neck. For this part, I try to bring it up to the hairline. Whatever is left on my brush, that's when I typically go under my eyes, over my eyelids with it, just to mute out the darkness of my eyelids. So I'm just basically creating a nice even blank canvas. I think I might add another little layer. Have a nice even canvas to work with. Now we're gonna add back some dimensions to the face, because as you can see, my face looks very flat right now. This is now where highlighting and contouring comes into play. So for today, I'm gonna take the LA Girl Pro Conceal in the shade Fawn. So I'm gonna take this concealer, and normally I would use my beauty blender, but for the sake of this tutorial I'm gonna use a brush so that you guys can see exactly the areas where I would apply it. And first I'm gonna apply this under my eyes. Don't want to swipe to disturb the foundation underneath, so I'm just gonna pat it. I suck at explaining stuff, so you just have to kind of look. So I'm just applying it a little below my eye, and I'm bringing it up. I'm not taking it past where my eyebrows would be. The light hits the center part of your face. So basically what you're doing is putting back that light to focus right there. And I'm not passing where my nose would stop. If you follow me, you know I don't really like to per se contour my nose. I used to, but not so much anymore. So a great trick is to bring your concealer a little on the sides of your nose. Not all the way up, just a little bit on the side. And it will not, and it will naturally contour your nose for you. And then I like to bring it in this area of my nose and connect it to my cupid's bow area. And then I'm applying some on my chin, also some on the center of my forehead. Now because I have a 5-finger forehead, like, I don't bring the concealer up too much because that's just gonna make my forehead look even bigger. If you don't have as big a forehead as me, then you can bring it up a bit higher. And then for the nose, you just bring it in the center of your nose. Part, this is how you will look. I didn't mention, but when you're choosing your concealer, use a shade that's 1 to 2 shades lighter than your foundation, and the same applies for your contour shade. So for contouring, the aim of that is to highlight the areas that the sun would naturally kiss your face. So those are the shadowy parts of your face. For contouring, we're gonna go back into the Anastasia Beverly Hills Cream Contour Kit, and we're gonna take the shade Espresso and Carob. We're gonna apply our contour on our forehead and the hollows of our cheek, starting from up here by the ears, bringing it downwards and stopping it where the end of the tail of our eyebrows would meet, so right here. So we're just gonna basically be drawing a C from here to here, and then another C for under the chin area. And because I have a big forehead, I'm gonna take my contour shade down lower on my forehead. If your forehead isn't as big as mine, I wouldn't suggest taking your contour shade across your forehead. All you would need to do is apply it in the temples of your forehead and leave this space blank. So now that we have our highlights and contouring all on our face, we're gonna now go back with the beauty blender and blend everything out. First doing the highlighted areas, and I'm gonna take the pointed part of the beauty blender. I'm using the same patting motion, no rubbing when you're doing things like this. And when I get to the sides of the nose, I pinch the beauty blender to make it tinier and kind of run this along the sides of my nose. I blend it out under my eyes. What I like to do is take the opposite side of the beauty blender that I had my foundation on and just run it on the edges so that it looks nice and seamless. This is just where your blending game come into place, and you just gotta blend, blend, blend. When you think that you finish blending, blend some more, okay? the opposite side and blend around the edges. For the nose, I'm just really pinching to go down the bridge of my nose. As you can see, by adding the concealer a little high up on my nose, it already looked like I contoured my nose when I really didn't. If you need a little help, you can always put a little bit of your foundation on your beauty sponge to help blend out the edges a little bit more. For the most part, we've blended out our concealer, and this is how it's looking. Okay, so next we gotta blend out the contouring. So I'm just gonna take this brush, I'm gonna blend. I'm not rubbing, I'm tapping, using tapping motion, kind of blend everything. And as I said, I like to bring my contour a little down lower on my forehead to minimize the size of my forehead. That's kind of how it's looking right now. And the same thing for the size of my cheeks. I'm gonna use a brush and I'm gonna tap and kind of push it upwards. For our jawline, this is when you bring it downward, not upward. Okay, and your face will look like this, and you can see for the most part the things are blended. Problem is now there is lines of demarcation between the contour and the highlighting. So what you're gonna do is take the side of the beauty blender that your foundation was on and kind of go in between those sections to kind of blend everything together. Again, as I said, having problem, take a little bit of your foundation to help fix them. Okay, so this is basically how things are looking right now. Now that you've done all of this, you need to set everything in place so that it's not slipping and sliding, especially if you have oily skin. Talking about the Laura Mercier loose setting powder, and this is a translucent one. Normally I would do baking, but with this powder I don't feel like it's necessary to bake with it. It does the job without you having to bake, and I really love that because it cuts down on a lot of time. What I do again, I use the same beauty blender that I've been using. I use it again under my eyes where I have creasing. I like to go over it before I set it, just to make sure that the creasing is at a minimum. And as soon as I do that, I'm gonna dip it into the powder and apply it directly where my creasing is. So that's the first thing I do, apply it directly on my creasing. Then I can get more of it on my brush and just apply that all over where I had applied that highlighting concealer. So with the Laura Mercier, what I find is it's just best to just press it into the skin as you're doing it. And I look up when I'm putting it just to get right up under my eyes. Use a brush like this. It's an e.l.f. brush and it looks like this. Take a brush like this or use your beauty blender and just go right up on the sides of their nose. Really slenderize the nose. They would leave it like that for a while. So what I'll continue doing is set all the places I highlighted with the powder. Always like to bring my setting powder on the sides of my mouth where creasing naturally occurs. Been with me from the beginning, you know this is my holy grail face powder. There's just something about this powder. What I'm talking about is the matte mineralized skin finish in dark deep. Fluffy brush, this one is from Real Techniques, and I swirl my brush into the face powder, knock off the excess, press it into my skin. I like to do first is apply this all over my face except for the highlighted areas first. Down to my neck too, don't forget your neck. And then I go over the highlighted areas just to tone everything down and to blend everything together. That's just my technique. Under my eyes, I like to take a kind of smaller brush and to sweep away the whatever residue of dust under my eyes. I like to take some of my face powder on my brush. I first use tapping motion, and I use sweeping motion. Because by tapping it, I'm basically locking it into place. Because sometimes when you sweep away, you're also moving the product. And as you can see, the difference between this eye and this eye, this one is a bit more bright, while this one blends in better with the rest of my skin. This is how we're looking now. Everything is slowly but surely coming together. So next, we want to go over the areas that we contour to kind of bring them out more. I like to use my CoverGirl Queen Collection Ebony Bronzer, and I'm gonna take a Real Technique blush brush to do this. I like to do my bronzer and my contouring with a nice fluffy brush. I find that it gives a better finish. And I go straight into my forehead first. I always do my forehead first. I don't know why, maybe because it's so big. I need to use all the time I have on it. So, and I'm just swirling, swirling, swirling. Sweep whatever is left over from doing that along my jawline. Whatever is left on the brush, I'll pinch the brush and just run it down along the sides of my nose. I don't know why I do it, I just do, and then I always bring it on the tip of my nose. So just to clean it up and to also make our cheekbones look even fierce, I'll take that same e.l.f. brush that I use along the sides of my nose and some more of that Laura Mercier powder. From the center of my ears, I'm gonna apply the brush and I'm just gonna apply the powder. Because we're using the Laura Mercier powder, this can stay on our face a little bit longer, and what I would normally do is leave it on while I do my highlights and blush. So I'm just gonna do the rest of my face off camera, and then I'll come back and you guys can see the final thing. I mean, technically this is a final thing, but just, you know, bring everything together. All right, so I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I'm back with the final look. Before I wrap this video up, I know it's gonna be an extra long video, but just bear with me. The first thing, you know, in achieving a full face foundation beat down where you look flawless is skincare. I can't stress that enough. Like, yeah, when I first started getting into makeup, I wasn't as diligent with skincare. I didn't have breakouts growing up. I started having breakouts when I started playing in makeup, really. So I felt like for most of my life, skincare wasn't a priority for me because I didn't have issues with skincare, but as I get older and doing makeup, I've realized how essential a proper skincare routine is. So I would say focus a lot on that. My makeup applies so much better because I've been more regimented when it comes to skincare. Also, when it comes to your brushes and your sponge, those are critical as well. For me, like during the week when I'm doing a lot of makeup stuff, I will do some quick spot cleaning. What I normally would do is I have the 99% alcohol that I just use. I have it in a spray bottle. I would get it, but I'm too lazy to get up right now. But I have it in a spray bottle, and I would just spray my brushes down with the alcohol and just wipe them on a paper and towel. And that's what I'll do during the week. But every weekend I wash my brushes, because brushes and sponges harbor bacteria, and you don't want to be always using it on your face. Those things cause acne and breakouts and stuff like that. Also, cleaning your products. Like if I'm, like, for example, using my cream contour kit by Anastasia Beverly Hills, I try to clean them every time I use them. So I will spray it down with alcohol and wipe it and keep it moving. Same thing with my face powder. I don't spray it down with the alcohol because I find that it changes the formula a bit. What I'll do, I'll just take a clean paper towel and wipe the top, so I'm cleaning off the top layer. So those essential things are also, those are things you need to know in doing a full face beat. I know you just care about the makeup, but you have to care about the skincare and the tools and the products that you're using. I think I've talked enough. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do hope you guys learned something. If you like this video, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, click that subscribe button, share this video, and until next time, stay beautiful. Bye. Mwah.